Hello, hi, and welcome to Empathic Fire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a no communications reading for people who are dealing with, or rather not dealing with, I suppose, Sagittarius at this moment. Hello, viewer, whoever you are, wherever you are in the world. I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Please continue to take care of yourselves and other people that you know and love. But as I stated, friends, as it says there on the thumbnail of this video, this is specifically for people who are not in current communication with the Sagittarius. No texting, no talking, no, sign language, no pen pals, nothing. This is if you're looking for messages or insights into what's going on with Sagittarius, what they might want to say to you, if they were to come out of no communication and speak to you, or something they might say while they're occupied, whatever the reasoning or whatever you're looking for, you might find a message here. Conversely, it says Sagittarius again out here on the video, so I'm assuming some Sagittariuses might watch this video, and if that's the case, then I have a message for you as well, coming from the person you're not speaking to. They could be a Taurus, they could be a Virgo, they could be another Sagittarius, it really doesn't matter, and that's going to happen on this side of the reading. So two separate readings, sort of, or two perspectives dealing with this no communication thing, okay? Guys, if you want anything from me, that information is in the description box already. So if you want to jump ahead, the timestamp is down below. If you want to get a personal reading with me, purchase one from me, you can find out how to do that by looking in the description box below. If you have a question before you place an order with me, just email me at the same address that's down there, and I will answer you as soon as I can. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, the link for my Instagram is down in the description box as well, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Starting with an oracle message coming from Sagittarius to you, viewer. Again, you could be any sign. Your relationship with Sagittarius could be of any quality. And when I say no communication, I really mean no communication. Nothing. Nada. Zip. Zilch. Zero. And again, any type of connection you have with this person, friend, family, lover, otherwise, take your pick, okay? Sagittarius to the viewer. What would they like to say through this oracle deck? Message from Sagittarius to the viewer via this oracle deck. Please show me. All right, good. Thank you. One oracle card, please. Sagittarius to the viewer. One card, please. There it goes. All right, we gotta move. Oh no. Ooh. And move this back. Artificial heart. Wow. Artificial heart. Card number 12. Add that together. That equals a 3 if you're into the numerology of things. Okay, so this is giving me like iRobot, like Android, like artificial intelligence, What's that guy's name? Data from Star Trek a little bit because of it's like yellowish greenish eyes right there. Artificial heart. Viewer, it feels like Sagittarius has their heart under lock and key, or maybe they feel like some type of alien. Maybe they feel very much, not normal in terms of making any type of significant heartfelt connection with you or other people, but specifically for you, since that's kind of how I want to design this. You as a singular person are asking after another singular person. I feel a lot of them in this collective Sagittarian energy would feel or express to you that they're kind of jaded, that they've experienced something in their life, or perhaps different patterns in their life that have caused them to shut down. Like I'm getting like this, like a powering down of like a robot or a machine, and it just like being deeply affected in that way, where they're mimicking or out there living, quote unquote, a normal human-like existence, but they actually don't truly connect with it. Artificial heart could also mean some of them gave you their heart in falseness, or they were false with their feelings. They said things that maybe weren't true, or they said things to just persuade you or led you astray. So there's something about basically inauthenticity for what you or they may have been trying to accomplish. there was actually some falseness involved in that. Some type of misgivings going on there. So let's read a little bit from the book. This book, I believe, this deck was not originally written in English, so sometimes the translation is a little bit off, so we'll see. It also deals with moon cycles here in this deck, so this is the new moon phase. So some of you that might mean something. So here we go. Artificial heart. Building oneself to specifications, steeling oneself to adversity, dreaming of electric sheeps. See, sheeps. Sheep is the plural. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Once upon a time, it was a time of flying monkeys. Someone journeyed to a place that wasn't Kansas in order to gain a heart. Oh, such a charming old-fashioned fairy tale. A new heart can be bought on the internet now and be delivered in a couple of days with a brand new shiny instruction manual. It works too. It gets the job done. It's not a job of feelings. It's scripted, like a job of numbers. Actually, it feels like a trade-off. We find refuge in the rational mind, which in turn gives us back the illusion of control. But we still feel. We still long to live through our emotions fully. We are truly like an artificial knight that wants to become a real person. Happiness is not in numbers, but it's not because numbers are bad. It is because there is nothing that alone can grant happiness and guarantee it. We trade in the natural world for artificiality, and then we blame this choice as the reason why our sky has no color. What if it's not actually connected? What if it's just an excuse? What if even an artificial heart could beat and fall in love and drown in sorrow? That's kind of deep. And, I could see that with Sagittariuses. Sagittariuses have a lot of depth to them sometimes that they don't really, I think, readily express to other people. They probably don't even express it to themselves. In my experience, a lot of Sagittariuses have deep thoughts for like 5 seconds. No offense to Sagittariuses. They have deep thoughts or deep, reflection for a short amount of time, and then they distract themselves or move on to the next thing in order to avoid, or, just because they're bored or whatever. So it's like there is the potential of having something very poignant come out of that message, but the whole thing is not going to be expressed. And then, of course, there is, the whole thing of saying in the book about how, Sagittarius might have, this desire to, like Pinocchio or something, or the Tin Man, be a real boy, have a real heart, but maybe feels unworthy of it or incapable of it, something like that. But let's turn to the tarot to get further messages for you guys who are dealing with Sagittariuses and you're not communicating at this time. Further messages from Sagittarius to the viewer. What would Sagittarius like to say if the lines of communication between the two were opened up? What are the messages that Sagittarius would like to share today? Please show me. Last one, thank you. All right, let's see what's going on, guys. From Sagittarius to the viewer, no. Oh my God, is that 3? I like 3, so we're going to take that. 1 second, get this straight, there we go. All right, so all together now, we've got the High Priestess, the 5 of Swords, and the 6 of Wands. Interesting. There's a way to victory here. There's a way to be successful in this situation. There's a way to have a happier outcome with the 6 of Wands on the end there. Possibly a metamorphosis since we see the butterfly there. But there's a blockage or there's some like resistance or, there's a, like I was saying with that Oracle card, there's a depth or a richness to what Sagittarius would want to say, but I feel they're having a hard time expressing it. The High Priestess, secondary major arcana for Cancer, sometimes also associated with Pisces. You could assign either of those signs if they apply. If they don't, that's totally cool too. It is a general. But the High Priestess embodies a wealth of knowledge. In fact, the entire knowledge of the entire universe, from Alpha to Omega, A to Z, the whole shebang, right? But the High Priestess is not an expressive energy. It's not as an archetype, as a state of mind or a mood that someone could be in. It's not known to be chatty. It's not known to be wanting or it's like not compelled to talk, not compelled to communicate. And I feel Sagittarius again is in this deep reflective phase, as we were discussing just a moment ago with the oracle card there. So I feel there's something that this Sagittarius knows they've awakened to. Perhaps this can be a spiritual awakening, or this can be being in consult with a spiritual person, a spiritual leader, a psychic, a medium, a tarot reader, any person in the esoteric or mystical arts, right? Or they're exploring this world themselves, and there's an enriching going on. There's something like I'm learning. And the cutoff point for this person is something is conflicting in the center here. 5 of Swords. So it could be that you guys are not speaking because of some type of spiritual growth. It could be you or Sagittarius were kind of living this artificial life, artificial heart over there. And now there's some seeking of realness, authenticity, actually being straight up. But it's not fully complete yet. This feels like very much still a transitionary point for Sagittarius. If you're hoping to hear that Sagittarius has, learned a thing or two, or they've learned their lessons, or they're growing spiritually, I feel that's true. But are they ready to talk to you? Are they ready to express whatever they're going through? Are they ready to reconnect with you? No, I don't feel that. I feel that this 5 of Swords is still, this 5 of Swords is still, and notice how I say is still. So this is something that has been going on for a while. Ah, yes, okay. So what I know of earthworms, like it's cut in half there on the card, that earthworm is not dead. Or it has the potential to still live. Or I think they can regrow their tails or regrow certain parts of their body, right? So there is like this repetitive thing of being, I don't want to say cut out, but maybe, okay. They're like, yeah. They're like, go ahead. This could be like a cycle. I'm sensing for those where this is resonating, this isn't years long of not communicating with a Sagittarius. This is like not a couple of weeks, but this is like weeks to like maybe upwards of like 5 to 8 months, something like that, where there are long periods where Sagittarius goes away or you go away from Sagittarius, whatever the situation is. It can go either way or both ways. You both could ghost each other, but there is like this sudden like chopping off, like how this sword has chopped this earthworm in half. But like I said, the earthworm doesn't die. From what I understand, from what I remember when I was a kid, an earthworm can lose like, a third of its body and it's still slinking along the sidewalk or slinking in the grass. It's really, and if it's whatever. So what seems like it's over, the Sagittarius might tell you it's not over. It might seem like they are living their best life, because that's also what the 5 of Swords can be. Hollow victory, shallow victory. It can look and be perceived as, well, I won this war, or I won this battle, or rather, I won the battle, but I didn't win the war. So it's like short-term victory or short-term reason to feel victorious, or that you came out on top of something. But the actual thing that's happening is, I feel that Sagittarius might be waking up to that pattern in their life, again, with this artificial heart. Maybe they know every time you guys come around, you're seeking something that is real, something that is stable, something that is Again, authentic. And they're like, they want something authentic, so I'm going to leave now, right? And then they come back however long later, weeks or months or whatever it is later, doing something semi-similar. It's like almost like an upgrade, like with a machine or artificial intelligence. It's like I'm trying to learn how to be a real boy, if you're Pinocchio, or a real girl, Pinocchia, whatever. It's like I'm trying to understand, mimic what you want from me. And every time this person comes in and out of your life, viewer, it's like they're upgrading themselves. But you may have gotten to a point where, or Sagittarius has gotten to a point where it's not enough, because, I feel in many of your cases, you realize this about Sagittarius. They were kind of leading you on, or they were saying things just to say them, to placate you. They didn't really mean them. Again, they didn't really give you their heart. They really didn't, again, expose themselves, or they weren't incredibly open. They weren't actually as vulnerable as you wanted them to be. So they may have a keen knowing that that's what you expect. You might be a spiritual person. I would assume many people who are watching tarot are automatically open in some type of way. And they might see you as the high priestess. I know that you know that I'm a fraud. I know that you know that I'm faking this. I know that you know that I can't be as vulnerable as you want me to be. And so I disappear. I cut it off. I cut this earthworm, this connection between the two of us. I cut it in half. But the connection's not dead, because after that, you've got this Six of Wands. Now, Six of Wands, like I told you, more so, Mark, because of the butterfly there. Metamorphosis. Someone here is growing, either you or them or the pair of you together, or in your own, individual ways. But there's something about graduating or maturing. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that the Sagittarius is going to come in brand spanking new, 180 degree, just like, I'm a real boy, I'm a real girl. I'm not sensing any miraculous transformations or metamorphoses, but I am sensing that they want to. Them going away from you may have been a short-term victory, may have given them time to recharge their batteries, so to speak. Okay. Or I feel like there was like a stress that was relieved from them, or some type of pressure, or like a spotlight. It feels like being around you may put a spotlight on them that they don't want there, or you may expose certain truths about them that they don't want exposed, because again, the high priestess knows but doesn't speak. So they might know, or they know this about you. There's a strong intuition, or you share it. And so you can read each other without saying a word. And because of that level of intuition, because of that level to recognize that this person to a certain extent has been inauthentic to you, that made them run for the hills. But there's still, I feel like there's like this coming back energy. This is the first reading I've done where it feels like there's an intention or a desire to come back. Don't quote me on that, don't take it to the bank. They're all coming back. It's just like somebody in this energy, in this Sagittarian energy, feels like we are not actually severed. This connection is not done. This lack of communication at some point will be lifted because of the metamorphosis. Because it goes from this creature, this earthworm that slinks around in the dirt and lives in the subterranean, right? Lives underground. Would eventually, and I know that earthworms don't turn into butterflies, but you have this person who has been slinking underground, living in the subterranean, not being expressive, not being open, right? To eventually become a butterfly, which is open, which lives out in the elements, which flies around freely, and has a beautiful display of colors, like black and white here, lots of color here, very monotone up here. So there's like hints of color that this person is desiring in their life. Interesting. All right, so what else would Sagittarius like to say to the viewer? Please show me. What else would Sagittarius like to say to the viewer? Please show me. Yep, okay. All right. Money, possibly, with the Nine of Pentacles there. But first came out was the Mother of Pentacles, aka the Queen of Pentacles, the Daughter of Pentacles, aka the Page of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so lots of issues around money and stability, finances, security, material wealth, material well-being is what this feels like, well-being. I get the sense that some of the Sagittarius would tell you they see you, viewer, as a mother or father in their life, whether that be you're their father or mother or whatever family relation you might be, you know, a great aunt or, you know, an older cousin that they respect. Or if this is like a friendship, they view you as part of their family. Or if this is a romantic entanglement, they see you as a parental figure, either to them, which is slightly unhealthy because two adults should not be mothering or fathering each other, or to a child that you may or already share or that they may want to have with you. Okay, I don't know, you know, what your paternity is or if anybody has children. I mean, this is a daughter, it is a page, so the child might already exist, and this might be an estranged relationship with the other parent of your child. And so I think that they're seeing you as being very capable of being someone who can maintain a household. Mother of Pentacles, again, Queen of Pentacles, somebody who can have a house or a home, a stable, secure home life, and work it and maintain it in such a way as to provide for others. Again, the Daughter of Pentacles in the center there. The Nine of Pentacles is very interesting. So for those where this is about estranged relationships, they see you as a single parent, even though they might be the other parent in the relationship. They might trust that you are taking good care of their child. Okay, viewer, or vice versa. You know, it doesn't have to be all the Sagittariuses or scumbags who, you know, walk out on their family life. I'm not even sensing that really, that anyone has. Did I say abandon in your reading? I used that word earlier today, but I don't know if it was in your reading. But anyway, I really don't get the strong sense of abandonment here, but it could play for some of you where, you know, disagreements in the past, arguments, you know, or like I said, with this repetitive thing, this cycle thing with the Five of Swords, you could, and that happens, you know, people get together for whatever reason, they make babies, but they can't sustain a relationship between the pair of them. And that could be what's going on here for some of you. You have had a particular connection with this Sagittarius, but it's just not working between the two of you. And this Nine of Pentacles would signal to that, singlehood. Okay, so some of you are single parents, some of you left a relationship without children, but you just maintain, there's like separateness, and Sagittarius wants to acknowledge, yes, we are separated, or yes, we are, and I see you, like, I feel like Sagittarius is looking at you from afar, watching you glow, or you're watching Sagittarius glow. There's something about, you know, look at this. Oh, right, and there's another little doe on the card there. So there might even be two children in the picture, technically, because we got a doe there and we've got a doe here. So there might be two does, two does, two children, you know. But I feel like, you know, look at this, again, this Mother of Pentacles, just kind of kicking back, not really worried about much, very relaxed, very comfortable in the role of motherhood or fatherhood. Again, there's no gender. But very comfortable in this role of providing, of being a source of sustenance, and being able to keep that in the family, or keep it all under wraps, not under wraps, safe, keep it secure. Okay. So I think they are admiring you from afar, or you them. Again, it can go vice versa. And I think that they know where they are right now. Artificial heart, Five of Swords, Six of Wands even, that they are not on your level. Not on your level financially, not on your level in terms of stability, not on your level possibly in terms of being emotionally vulnerable. Because to have this level, what I'm sensing here with these Three Pentacles, to have this level of trust and stability and cohesion within a family unit, a friendship circle, you know, a commitment between two partners, it takes a lot of vulnerability, like to build towards something together. You know, the Mother of Pentacles would want a partner that can match them, build towards something, build towards increased finances, or in, you know, being being comfortable. And I think there's a certain amount of vulnerability in the sense of like you have to sacrifice certain things for yourself, or certain things as an individual to work together as a team. In most cases, you can't just care for yourself. You have to care about other people. And I think they would tell you, viewer, that they know they have to sort of level up to where you are. And it's a work in progress. You know, in many cases, not all, this Sagittarius is hoping, with this rainbow above the Daughter of Pentacles, is hoping that you guys will be able to reconnect at some point. Or if not with you specifically, since it is on the Daughter of Pentacles, it could be reconnecting with your child. Like maybe they know you and them as the two adults in the situation, you guys aren't going to be able to patch things up. But in terms of having a connection with their child, it feels like some of them are like very interested in that. Okay. So that is from Sagittarius to the viewer. Hopefully that resonated a little bit for you guys. Now we're going to move on because, you know, I assume most people who see their zodiac on a video, they're going to watch it. So if you're a Sagittarius and you're curious about what the other person might be saying, maybe they're in the same story, maybe it's a different story, we'll find out. But for the person who Sagittarius is not in contact with, let's find out what they might have to say, okay? So the person who's not in contact with Sagittarius, the viewer, whoever it may be, what would they like to say to Sagittarius at this time? Messages from the viewer to Sagittarius, not in communication, what would they like to say? Last one, thank you. What time is it? Ooh, it's kind of late for me to be recording, but you know, we gotta do things. We gotta press on. So let's get into it. Messages from the viewer to Sagittarius. One card, please. Messages from the viewer to Sagittarius. Messages from from the viewer to Sagittarius. Viewer to Sagittarius, please. One card. Show me or stop me, please. Okay. They're like, here. All right. That's way too many. So we're not going to take any of those because we're not going to sit here and read 5 of those. One more time, please, from the viewer to Sagittarius. And maybe that says something. Maybe you have a lot to say to Sagittarius, or Sagittarius, this person has a lot to say to you. No, they're like, no, not it. Lord. Sorry, guys. I really want it to feel right. From the viewer to Sagittarius. One card, please. There. Oh! Another insect. There's a dragonfly on this one. So we had a butterfly come out in their tarot, and then you've got a dragonfly here. So it says, Dearest you, there are times when loss is a part of life. Sometimes a loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. Oh, as is grief. Oh my God, I can't even read. As is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what has passed, ever more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love, always and forever. Interesting. Okay. So, Sagittarius, the viewer lets you know. Either one of you, whoever dipped out quickly, that was hurtful, that was painful. They know that. They want to acknowledge that. But at the same time, I don't know who that message is for. You had the High Priestess on your side, Sagittarius. So maybe the lesson about, kind of embracing, the loss and really feeling those feelings, like it said, crack yourself open wide or whatever it was saying. That could be what they're telling you to do. You've been playing this artificial heart thing for a while. You've been trying to be this mechanical robot type thing that doesn't feel feelings. And it's just like, no, man, you got to feel those feelings. So I think if you guys are amicable, or if you were to come into contact with this person, they would tell you, I know it hurts, or I know this and that, but you got to face that pain. Yeah. Or they're telling you that's what they're doing. Okay. So messages from the viewer to Sagittarius. What would they like to say? Please show me through the tarot. Messages from the viewer to Sagittarius. What would they like to say? That's good. Thank you. That felt so smooth. Oh my God, that was interesting. Anyway, let's see. From the viewer to Sagittarius, justice, divorce for some of you. From the viewer to Sagittarius, issues over the divorce. Papers maybe being filed. Some of you. Which is interesting, to not speak in the proceedings of a divorce. That's very interesting. But if there are children at play, that kind of makes sense sometimes. Six of Cups. Hey, talk of children. Here they come. Six of Cups. One more, please, from the viewer to Sagittarius. Oh, yeah. And the Wheel of Fortune. Hey, now. Secondary major for Sagittarius. So here you guys are showing up on their side of the reading. So Justice, Major Arcana for Libra, could be dealing with a Libra, don't have to be. Six of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, again, secondary major for Sagittarius. Sag, I think they would tell you, if this is for those where this is about divorce or some type of separation, why won't you focus? Thank you. They're telling you they're doing this for the kids, okay? Or they are reflecting on the importance of the children, or it's time for, in some of your cases, regardless of the presence of children, the time for nostalgia has passed. The time for behaving like children, behaving immaturely, or living in fantasy is over. Because the Six of Cups can be very idyllic. It can be very serene, and it's like a fantasy, right? And justice is not, well, justice is blind, but justice is about fairness and setting the record straight. And then the Wheel of Fortune talks about growth. So set the record straight. Let's stop, living with rose-tinted glasses, and let's face what's going on here. So I think you might be the person, or excuse me, this person, Sagittarius, might be where that High Priestess was coming in, or at least partially shares that energy that we talked about earlier over here. There's like this interest in moving beyond, like this is beyond what we wish for. Justice has no real give a care about your personal feelings. And they might tell you that, Sagittarius. You might be, over there evaluating your artificial heart. You might be, saying, oh, I am a real boy, or I am a real girl. I want to have a real human experience. And this person is just like, fuck your feelings. Or sort of too little too late. What is fair in the situation based on the history of it? I'm sensing this lack of communication has been a breakdown, or like I said, that revolving door that we talked about earlier with the Five of Swords over there. If this has happened over and over and over again, I feel this person is putting a stop to that. This Justice card is very upstanding, okay? Isn't wanting to be partial, or isn't wanting to give into delusions or illusions and fantasies of what could have been or what was at some point. What is the now? in the now and in the future with the Wheel of Fortune, what's going to be beneficial for me, for the children, for the betterment of the both of us if there are no children involved, and this is just a friendship or a business partnership, whatever. It does not have to be romantic. This side, this person is just like, nah, I'm interested in evolving the situation. I'm interested in moving to the fairest, most even and equitable point in this relationship. And if that means cutting ties, fine. If that means a divorce, fine. If it means reconciliation, fine. Whatever is due. Justice is about what is due in the situation. What is going to be help usher in the best outcome for everybody? That's what this person is after, okay? Yeah, I'm really drawn to this energy of kids. If there are children in the mix, this person, they might be the other parent, male or female, doesn't matter. They are like a hawk for these kids. Okay? If there are kids in the mix, you see that cat down in the bottom right? Basically trying to hide in the grass with like those you know how cats stare intently when they're like hunting something like a small bug or like a rodent or something? That's what I feel. I feel that this person is super protective of the children. And that makes sense. You know, I haven't met, well, I've seen them. Well, no, I met a couple. Don't get up here and lie, Jay. Most parents, here we go, I'll say it. Most parents feel that way about their children, overly protective or wanting to make sure that the kids are happy and stable and secure and healthy and fed and all that good shit. And if that means having to step away from, divorce, separate from the other parent, so be it. This energy over here, particularly where there are children involved, and it doesn't have to be between two parents. It could be, you know, children, like you don't have to be the parents. Like you could feel some type of way about your nieces or nephews because, you know, your brother or your sister is a horrible parent or something like that. This energy of wanting children to be safe could be your job. Doesn't have to be that you have children. This could be this person's job. They're a social worker. They're a judge or a lawyer or something like that. Maybe. But protecting, like moving away from rose-tinted glasses, let's get real about it. Because let me tell you, yes, Wheel of Fortune. Let me tell you something. Well, maybe not let me tell you something. What I'm feeling here is like, in some cases, not all, we can't keep treating the children like they're children. What do I mean when I say that? We can't keep giving our kids fairy tales, or the children in this situation can't be, you know, protected in that way. Meaning, what I'm sensing is for somewhere this is a separation, a temporary separation. Because again, I get like this revolving door thing. It's happened before, and then it's going to happen again, and it happened again and again and again. And this, you know, we're on and we're off, we're communicating, we're not communicating. It's a roller coaster, right? Or a merry-go-round, more appropriately. I get the sense that someone in this situation doesn't want the children to be on that merry-go-round. Meaning, if you, Sagittarius, or them, you know, whichever side is doing this, has been that in and out parent, that has to stop. Someone's putting their foot down against that. And that could equal, like this card was saying, a particular loss, a very sudden loss perhaps. That is very painful. Why would I be experiencing performance issues? This freaking computer and whatever. So what I'm sensing is a dysfunctional parent, or the co-parenting situation just isn't working out, right? And so somebody says, you know what? For the sake of my kids, we got to stop this. Because you come back around, you spend several months here, and things are going good, and the kids are, you know, happy to see you, and they're happy to reconnect with you, and then you skip town, and you disappear off the face of the earth, and nobody can find you, nobody can contact you. That's not healthy for the kids, that's not healthy for me, and we're going to put a stop to that. Something like that is happening. And the reason I got excited here is because the Wheel of Fortune, also secondary for Sagittarius, also associated with the fixed signs. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Any of those signs can apply. They don't have to. But divine timing is here. And again, this idea of cycles, because this is mimicking what? Like a clock, a thing that spins, that, you know, rotates around, and, you know, it has a particular starting point, and if you give it enough time, you're going to get right back around to that starting point. So repeating cycles. Somebody's not interested in doing that anymore. And what were we talking about before? Nine of Pentacles, Daughter of Pentacles, Mother of Pentacles, this protective mother energy, this wanting to be solid in the situation and be stable. That is super important. If this isn't about family or children or spousal anything, if this is like business or friendships, I think that kind of applies. We can't play these kiddie games like we used to play. If this is like a friend of yours from college, Sagittarius, they would tell you, or a friend from your childhood, more specifically, since it's the Six of Cups, they would tell you, look, I'm not about that Mickey Mouse bullshit anymore. You know, you and me coming around each other, partying like we were teenagers again, that's unhealthy. Or you or me or whoever in this situation who's living this artificial life, that's not healthy. That's not mature. There's a wanting maturity on this person's energy. Wanting things to be above board, wanting things to be fair and equitable. So any further messages from the viewer to Sagittarius, and then we're going to wrap up. Further messages from Sagittarius to, excuse me, from the viewer to Sagittarius. Viewer to Sagittarius, please. Further messages, please. Maybe that's it. No, there's one. Okay. I was going to say, nothing else to say? Because that's a pretty strong and straightforward message. And the Tower. Say word. Anything else? And the Star. Yep. Healing after a Tower. And then Queen of Pentacles again. So this person knows what they got to do. They're, you know, I don't want to limit this to females because, you know, it's tarot and it's a general reading. But, you know, Queen of Pentacles came out over here, coming out over here again. So the viewer would say to you, Sagittarius, yeah, I know I'm the Queen of Pentacles. You know, high level of feminine energy in the sense of providing, in the sense of making a secure, stable home for themselves, for their children, for their dogs. If your children are like 10 Pomeranians, congratulations, okay? This person is taking care of that. Again, doesn't have to be female, but it is a strong feminine energy because feminine energy is about nurturing. It is about abundance. It is about, you know, covert sexuality. Why do I say covert? You've got this peacock here. Until that peacock displays all its feathers, you don't know, like, that's not, until that happens, like, that's the mating call. And I know males do it. I know it's not females that do it. But a peacock is normally just strutting his stuff, looking fabulous. When it's time to throw down, the feathers come out, the display comes out, and that's when business is going to happen. But there isn't like this overt sexual attitude with this person. Like that is very secondary to them right now. What is primary is providing a stable home, is providing security. Also, High Priestess can be covert sexuality or sexual energy. Like it's just not the name of the game. It's not the primary focus. Okay. So if this was a romantic entanglement or some type of, you know, long-term relationship, marriage perhaps, because again, we have the Justice card and we have the Tower. That ain't the business. The business isn't about that. It's not about you and me, is what this person would say. Our relationship, toasted, done. Or that aspect of our relationship, the romantic, sexual aspect, done. Okay. Tower. This, whatever is befalling the pair of you, affects them deeply. If you're the person who's losing out, Sagittarius, they still feel the impact of that. If you're the person who, you know, with your own personal struggles, with everything that we talked about earlier, where you're feeling things are cut and it's like on again, off again, whatever. If you are bearing the brunt of that, they still feel it. So they're not saying it's only affecting you or it's only affecting me. It affects the pair of you. However, this person is very aware of the Tower. They may have caused it or had reason for that Tower to start to fall. Again, if they've served you with papers or they initiated proceedings to get custody, whatever it is, they push that button, but it still hurts them. So they're feeling something. You know, this message over here can apply to both of you. You both have to face these losses, face these damaging circumstances head on. And don't, you know, feel bad about what was lost. Look back with joy on what you had, but press forward and learn the lessons, okay? So the Tower exists for both of you, but if you feel or they feel that it's more on their side, that's kind of a, you know, kind of a skewed perspective. I don't feel that that's necessarily objectively true, okay? It's subjectively true if they're like, oh my God, I'm suffering, or you're walking off scot-free and I'm left with the kids. It's like, well, you wanted the kids and you're the one who's providing, right? But it's so stressful, you know, whatever. I don't want to make someone seem like they're moaning or whining about something. But then also the star card. So major arcana for Aquarius. Oh, excuse me. Tower is secondary major for Aries. Also sometimes Scorpio. You could be dealing with either of those signs. And star card is Aquarius. You could be dealing with that sign or none of these signs I've mentioned. It doesn't really matter. Take your pick. Now, healing after the damage is done. So the Tower has fallen or is falling right now. And in time, Wheel of Fortune, the healing will come. The gaining a bigger perspective is in the works. I feel this person feels or eventually will get to a point of feeling spiritually watched over, enlightened in some type of way, because you see the woman in the water, how her forehead is lit up. Boobs, okay? There's something about being wise or gaining wisdom after the fall, after this mess, after the, like any building that is demolished, right? And I don't know, where I live, they broadcast demolishings of buildings like on on local news. But when something is demolished, it's like a huge, you know, plume of smoke and debris, and it takes a few minutes. And then after the dust settles, then they can go about, you know, cleaning up the scene and, you know, constructing whatever is there. I feel that's what's going on. After the dust settles, papers are finally signed, kids and this person have moved to a new location in some cases, or you leave or they leave or whatever the situation is. Once all that is settled, the healing can begin. Maybe that healing has happened now. Maybe I'm describing something that happened back in 2019 or even 2012. Who knows? And eventually it's going to lead to a better perspective, a healthier, self-contained or peaceful stance, okay? All right, guys, Sagittarius or viewer, whoever you are, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this reading, if it resonated with you, please hit the like button, type comments down in the description, or not in the description box, in the comment section, and let me know how this resonated. I love reading comments. It helps me as a reader really, you know, connect to the work that I'm doing, because I'm just in this room talking to myself. Nobody's here saying, yes, Jay, oh my God, that was the best thing ever. So if you want to tell me how this resonated, please feel free. Again, guys, feel free to share the video and subscribe to the channel. The community continues to continues to grow, and I'm having a good time doing this work and getting to meet new people. So if you want to join the crew, if you want to subscribe to my channel, that'd be super cool. If you want a personal, again, look in the description box. Shout me out or hit me up if you want to get down with a personal reading, and also for the Instagram link, that's also down there. Okay, for this particular reading, I don't know when I'll be back doing a no communication reading. The pattern seems to be thus far every 5 months, so maybe I'll see you in November. But if not that, or if not then, I will see you guys soon when I do the mid-monthly, mid-August readings very soon, okay? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care.